Hey there, friends and enemies, JoPa here again, and today I want to check out the Exodus live stream highlights, as this has quickly become one of my more anticipated games. It really feels like something of a spiritual successor to Mass Effect or games of that nature. We know from the secret level episode that the universe is going to be incredibly interesting. The time mechanics are very unique for this type of game, and I can't wait to get hands on finally. So I'm excited to see what else they have in store for us today. Let's check it out. Cold Carnage.
But today we are taking a very special look, not only at the game itself, but also some of the world first gameplay. Let's go ahead and meet the team.
That's
I'm
exciting.
Chad Robertson, the general manager at Archetype Entertainment. I'd like to introduce James Olin, our studio head. James.
So, yeah, I'm the head of the studio and the creative head for the Exodus franchise. We're also having a special
The fact that
guest
they did
star,
a
the guy behind
secret level weapon, or
Tim
secret
Miller.
level
It
episode,
is my honor to be here
is
as a longtime friend of James.
crazy
we've
before
been
the
working
game
on-
even comes
with
out.
them on Exodus for a while.
I heard today we may have something else here. So how about we see some world premiere gameplay from this game?
Okay, here we go. Yeah, this looks so
Preparing to
sick.
transfer now. This is your last chance to bail, June.
Do it.
The enemies look wild. The guns also look kind of insane. We got grappling hook traversal.
Loaded weapon is a hell of a way to greet your new partner.
So
Interesting
you're June.
locations.
We're burning time. Now that we're all best of
Companions?
friends, let's make each other rich.
I'm not just here to look pretty. I got away with celestial tech.
That was actually sick. Yeah, not the giant bear. We saw this before, but oh yeah, that looks like
See
a
a lot of
really
potential in this
fun
new
boss
partnership.
fight.
Let me light the way for you.
Target acquired.
Many thanks again for your help.
The talking frog.
You should have been honest.
This place is forbidden. The price is death.
Is that future main
That's
character?
what it means to be a traveler.
Yeah, that was fire. I'm so ready for this game, to be honest. I don't even know how far out it is. Like I said, we got a secret
This
level
game has an
episode.
interesting name and an even more interesting kind of sub-name to it.
And we don't have any
what
idea when the
exactly
game
is
comes out.
Exodus, and what are the travelers?
The entire setting is based around the Exodus from Earth, and it's also something that we've called the journeys that the traveler makes when they are going off to other star systems. Now, the traveler is essentially what the player plays as. They're very influential people because they're like tip of the spear on technology, but they're also the people who are making political decisions and societal decisions that impact how the world is going to evolve.
Yeah, there's an element to them
That's
too that's
fascinating.
elite, and it's special to be a traveler, and so we really want to celebrate.
I hope
that
there's a
in terms
lot
the
of
growth the player
RPG
throughout the
mechanics,
experience
like
that,
Mass Effect.
players will have.
Choices
One of
matter and all
those
that kind of
things
good
that
stuff.
they explained to me early on, that you have these disparate worlds all spread out, and they all have different levels of technology, sometimes extremely far apart, but they don't necessarily help each other. It's not like there's one humanity and everybody is moving towards a singular bright future. It's very competitive
Yeah, that makes sense.
environment. So these, especially like the new humans that are just off the ark, that just arrived, they're put on backwater worlds and they have to go scavenge other technology to bootstrap themselves into this new society, which is pretty cool.
Kind of insane. Yeah, this bear is the highlight.
Who
I
are we
want
going
the
to
bear
be playing? Who was
as
your
my
inspiration, or
companion.
what was your inspiration for June? Was it based on someone or something in particular, or do you guys have, what is your vision for this character?
It's kind of a complicated question because June has to have a personality There's a lot of acting that goes into all
I
those
wonder
scenes.
if they'll do
But
male
at the
and
same
female
time,
June.
June has to be
Like
your character.
Shepard?
The choices you make kind of help define who June is as a person. Where did June come from? I don't want to say this because all my writers would murder me, but Indiana Jones times Paul Mahdi, Paul Atreides, because June has the serious task of leading their world.
Paul Atreides
but they're
is
also
a
a fun
wild
person,
shout.
as you can see in the clips there, and they're also going on adventures. So it's kind of that combination.
And he or she has an incredible backstory that we will reveal at some time. And Tim helped us create that story too, that we'll share once the time comes.
With this trailer, we're seeing all sorts of new things. We're seeing enemy types, we're seeing new environments, most importantly, we're seeing how the player interacts with them. What approach are you guys taking with this game? What's going to be, not necessarily the minute-to-minute gameplay, but what's going to be our more overarching style of gameplay?
We're kind of doing what we know best, which is while you do go on missions, and those missions have lots of optional areas that you'll be able to explore, you can decide how you want to explore the missions, like which ones you want to go on first, and how you're going to explore them. And then there might be things that you do on your home world that unlock stuff on missions that you wouldn't normally be able to do.
Okay,
yeah,
I love
so
that.
it's very much
that sounds
similar to
sci-fi RPG.
Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, or a Mass Effect, or a Dragon Age.
Okay, that's sick.
Origins. That's the model that we have gone with.
I'm not just here
I
to
love
look
that.
pretty.
That's exactly what I'm looking for in a game like this. It's been too long since we've gotten a game like this. It's really been exciting, in my opinion.
How is our character going to be progressing? Are we going to be like really specializing June to do something, or is it going to be more of like kind of just complementary to what we're doing already? How are you guys approaching that?
Progression for us takes a multitude of forms. Like we look at choice in several different levels. So there's sort of the choice in terms of how you approach minute-to-minute gameplay, and we give some options in combat that we think players will like in terms of how they deal with different scenarios and fights that they get into. But the choices they make across, the bigger parts of the story lead to manifestations back in places like your home world in the game that we think will be unique, and those affect both more the immediate term in terms of your loved ones and your companions, but then those choices also impact and resonate across much longer periods of time. And it's through time dilation, like we've said, that is really the way that we're able to achieve that.
That sounds fascinating.
But if you look at the choices in terms of the player's going to make in terms of their personal progression, it takes the form of a couple different things. There's progression for your companions. There's progression for you, where you can make choices in terms of your skill set and the abilities that you have. And then without going into too much detail, we've talked about a little bit about the way Livestone works in the game and the way what you see the player using in their gauntlet. There's some progression there that's pretty cool too as well. That's a unique feature of the game that we think players will like.
You also get to unlock different technologies according to how you use the remnants you bring back. Just imagine if Indiana Jones had to choose how to use the Ark of the Covenant. Do I use it as a super weapon against the Nazis, or do I bring it back to the U.S. and use it as a font of knowledge to help the country become better?
Yeah,
like you'll have companions who have
this sounds
opinions on it.
incredible, to be
And
honest.
you have
I'm
to
glazing a
decide.
bit, but
And then you go on an exodus and you come back and you get to see what your decision did. And also,
I do
some
think that's
weapons that weren't
incredibly
available before.
interesting.
Loaded weapon is a hell of a way to greet your new partner.
So you're June.
We're burning time. Now that we're all best of friends, let's make each other rich.
What can we expect from the companions? Is it going to be the kind of thing where there's a couple people with us, or are we going to have like a team? And how far are you guys really wanting to go with that?
Well, you have a team. You don't bring your entire team on every mission. You have 2 team members with you on every mission, and your companions, you're going to be able to do a lot with them. You will have a relationship with every single one of your companions. You're going to be able to romance some of your companions.
Okay, that makes sense.
You're going to have your companions are sometimes going to be at each other's throats as the story progresses. You're going to be choosing to follow some companions' advice over the others, and that might rupture your relationship with those that you didn't side with.
Meaningful choice.
Your decisions are going to have huge impact, so there'll be there's a lot of relationship stuff there that's going to happen that's going to be really cool.
Yeah, and the slate.
That's
of them
one of the
overall,
things
we
that
think
I feel like
is
might
really
have
going to
been
be
missing
compelling.
from
We've
Dragon Age
introduced
of
2
Vanguard.
that you can see on our website, and if you look closely at the trailer, you'll get a glimpse of a few more. But there's more to come, and not to be the constant tease, but ultimately that set of things that we have available in this universe to deliver through the characters and through the companions specifically that you'll play with, we think is pretty cool, and it's a nice part of the IP.
Also, some of the companions change radically depending upon some of the choices you make. It's
Oh, the
because
smirk
with time
from
dilation,
Chad
you can
Robertson.
if you leave a companion behind, imagine all the changes that they can go through while you're gone. For them, it might be a decade, which also makes the artist crazy because it's like they have to like, okay,
that is
so we
insane.
just can't do this companion. We have to do the companion 10 years older. Oh, and maybe even older. So
Many thanks
That's
again for
actually
your help.
insane.
You should have been honest.
Tim and Blur are going to be showing off today because it's like the secret level episode of Exodus.
Oh,
And
right on.
It really focuses on what time dilation.
Which is out now, by the way. Is it out right now? Can people go watch it?
Oh, this must
it
be.
is. It's out right
this
now.
must be
Chad
older.
is saying not only is it out, I've heard a
'Cause
lot
it's
of very
been out.
favorable
It's
things
very
so
good.
far already.
I really enjoyed that.
Good job.
Exodus episode.
Nice.
Very, very cool.
I love that story. I happen to have personally wrote that one. Of all the 15, that was the only one I was super involved with every day. And it's based on a Jack London story that I really love called Odyssey of the North that was a love story that takes place over 20 years or so. And we switched it to an Exodus friendly universe, but it just seemed very apropos because for the hero in that story, his love remained unchanged, but his love interest changed greatly, and it felt like it fit Exodus in a really interesting way. So if you're going to steal from the best.
Nice.
Yep.
Been seeing a lot of questions from chat. Is it single player or co-op?
Single player.
Perfect. I think you
Makes
mentioned this
sense.
earlier, but what platforms are we going to be available on?
PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC.
Makes
Awesome.
sense.
Somebody asked, if I like Mass Effect, how hard will I like your game?
Really hard.
Really hard.
That's so funny.
Okay, there we go. Do you know what?
Drew Karpyshyn, the lead writer of Mass Effect 1 and 2, who's anyway.
So maybe even ultra hard. Thank you, James, Chad, and Tim. It has been an absolute.
All right, that's gonna be it for that one. Yeah, so some of the information is a little bit old, but I'm glad I could recap it because I feel like this game is still flying under the radar for a lot of people, and it feels like it's the next gen sci-fi RPG that we've been waiting for, that I'm excited about. And as somebody who hasn't had one of these games to play in a long time, and as a massive sci-fi fan, I'm really excited about this. We get lots of looter shooters, live service sci-fi games and the like, but having a single player role-playing story game with a lot of different features, a lot of different options and branching ways to tackle it, it's just very interesting. Yeah, between this and I think the Outer Worlds 2 are going to be the two that I'm most looking forward to. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like the video as always, comment, subscribe, have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.